Okay, hopefully this is recording. I'm gonna try to demonstrate how to set up a project template on the Bluebox, the 1010 Bluebox um, mixer thing. There's quite a number of bugs with this feature, so what I'm gonna try to do is just set up a template that basically has the purpose of um, mapping the physical inputs to like the sort of logical inputs for the tracks of the Bluebox and nothing else. Because if you've used the Bluebox and you've used this feature, this one, save as template, um, you may have noticed that if you have tracks recorded on the project, that once you go to the new project that's created from this template, that if you press play, those tracks will start playing, even though if you look at the project, there's nothing there. There's no tracks there. There's no wave files associated with those tracks, if that makes any sense. So what I did was I created a new project. I just called it 0 because I wanted it to be sorted. Once this is sorted, I want it to be at the top. So let's go into that project here. So I'm gonna go to track. First of all, go to mixer actually, and change the layout. I don't know why anybody likes the double row. This is my bias. I think it's terrible to look at. I go to single row. I'm just gonna use 6 tracks because that's probably all I need. Hit the B button again. Again, another thing is, why is this B? Why is that A? Like, why would you do this? Like, in what world does that make sense? Just a rant. Like, honestly, the alphabet goes, when you read A. I just don't understand it. Left to right, that's baffling to me. But anyways, this is the B button. Press the B button. So now I'm back here in the mixer section. Let's go to the track now and go to like track 1. And it's cool because you can map anything. You map things the way you want it. And I probably want it to be like look like this, like Mother 32, then DFAM, then subharmonicon. So the first one here, I'll do this. I'll rename this to be the M32. If I can do this. That humming is these Atom Audio T7V monitors I just purchased. It's got a really loud hum, and there's actually a lot of noise from the Bluebox as well. I can't really notice it when I'm listening to music. Well, it depends. If it's like really just like minimal music, then I can actually hear it. So hopefully there's a fix for that. But anyways, a bit of a tangent. So back to the Bluebox. This track here, I have to look at the way I've kind of the way I've inserted the cables. And if you have the Bluebox, you might know that the back panel here, all these ports, is like very, very, very tight. Everything's like very tight. So you need kind of like special cables, sort of. Not quite special cables, but cables that they're going to be small enough. It's all 1/8 inch, but you know, some of the casings or whatever are quite bigger than others. So I found it got really tight, and I actually that looked like some of these things were bending too. So this is just the order of this stuff is based off of how it fits, not necessarily how I would want it to be ordered. This is why it's even more important to have a good kind of like project template for this, because I don't want to have to think about this all the time. So I like to read it probably. I'll go the voices, whatever, Mother 32, DFAM, subharmonicon, OPZ, and then I got some effects. I got these auto BAM reverb and auto BIM delay. So I got 5, 6 things here, which is not enough tracks, but no, that's enough tracks. 6 things. Yep. Sorry, I was thinking that these effects returns were my mind, they were being treated differently, but they're occupying a track, 2 tracks as well. So okay, so I got the Mother 32 track there, and again I need to follow the cables here. So I have like a Y cable here, and it's going into track physical, like track 1. And I think I've connected it so the left channel is the Mother 32, the top, and the right channel is like the DFAM. So I'll say like that. Okay, and to test it out, I'll put like on a drone or something. Is this gonna work? It'd be better if I put the camera there. I don't, filters, low pass, the cutoffs, the middle. I don't see or hear anything. I thought that's in that. There's also a lot of bugs on the Bluebox, I find. So like half the time when something's not working, I'm thinking, is this a bug or am I doing something wrong? I don't want to jump to it's a bug because I'm probably doing something wrong. But when you have a product with a lot of bugs, you find yourself asking that question when something's not working. I might be pausing this part and editing it out or something because like this is just stupid. I'm just like, what the hell is going on here? It should work in my mind. The power's on. It's going into the first input. There we go. So I had it backwards, or something's backwards. I thought this white would be left, like the tip, I guess. I don't know. But maybe it's not. So, okay, so it looks like that's, and I got this like super low. You can hear it, that the way that sounded was almost like, just like more rhythmic than anything. So let's try that again. It's super loud, turn that down. Okay, so I just got the one channel. And I can still, the noise of the Bluebox, and who knows, maybe it's some interference as well. I don't want to blame the Bluebox, but the noise of the Bluebox is still pretty loud, right? It's clearly hear this even with this tone, right? It doesn't mask that. I mean, different frequencies to a degree, but I mean, so if I go up an octave, I mean, if I add some noise, all right, I can still hear it because it's louder than this white noise, which is filtered. So now, hey, you can't even hear it, right? So it's pretty loud. Anyways, that's another tangent. So I got that there, and I'm gonna go back to project and save. So then I'll go back to the track. Now I got my first track there, and I'm gonna go to track 2 on here, on the Bluebox rather, and then I want that to be the DFAM. So hit the B button again, and I think it's 1L, right? And this will steal. If I accidentally did 1R, it'll steal it there. It'll steal it from the previous track, right? So it's now linked to this, right? It's kind of backwards from this, but who cares? Like it should be like save it, and that's it. So to do it on the DFAM, I can just do like a trigger, which is a trigger button that's really loud. Shorten that. I wasn't expecting it. Okay, so then I'll label this. There's some bugs with the labeling too, which can be, annoying. That's cool. I'll just save it again, go back to track. So then the third one, let's do the subharmonicon here. So this one I know is this kind of peach colored, orangey colored cable, which is just a mono. It's just like a Euro rack cable, right? Like just an 1/8 inch, tip sleeve or tip sleeve cable, TS cable. Okay, so I followed that there, and all right. That's 2. So put this on 2, should be L. And then let's put this to be the sub. Enter. And if I want to test this out too, like on the subharmonicon, you can hold the envelope generator button until it blinks. And now we got like a drone, basically. It just opens up the VCA. So we got this going through. And again, I can still very much hear that hiss of the Bluebox switch. So again, as I turn the volume down, so there's a hum of the Atom audio But by comparison to the hiss of the Bluebox, which I'm pretty sure it is the Bluebox, I'm gonna disable the envelope generator and the sub harmonicon. I like to say sub because I don't have time to say sub harmonicon. Really cool. Okay, but there's still a huge hiss there. So let's go to the mixer and go to mute, and let's just mute things until that goes away. So so it's 4, 5, and 6. So I don't know what, nothing is really plugged or hooked up to those. Red, oh no, there is something by default. Okay, so there is something. So maybe, that's louder. Anyways, noise, whatever. Things have noise. It's like a high frequency kind of noise, whatever. Okay, so back to mixer, and let's just unmute those things. You know, it's amazing noise in the system and how, I mean, I don't balance anything, but I mean, I'm not an electrician. I'm not my dad's an electrician. I don't understand how electricity works, but he probably does. And to me, it's just a mystery. I mean, grounding issues, noise, loop issues. I can never remember how it works. I have to read it. Okay, I guess that makes sense. All right, let me try this out. Oh, they're all on the same outlet. Okay, that's better now. Okay, I'll read how that works. Okay, I guess that makes sense. Then, immediately I'll just forget. So anyways, there's power issues. Power causes noise. Right. I don't think the noise is that bad, but from the item audio speakers, again, by comparison to whatever is introducing noise, right? It seems like when these things get added, like summed, like the DFAM, and those do have the same cable. So anyways, another tangent there. This is a pretty interesting video, I guess. Track 4, what did we say? We got 1, 2, 3. So 4, I guess we'll do the OPZ. And again, press the B that's on the left, that should be an A, and then OPZ. Okay, enter. And then this one is on 3, right? So this was 2, this is 3, and it's stereo, but although sometimes I want to break this up into multiple tracks as well. But for now, I really do actually like having it on two tracks. So I'm going to put 4L here. And this will be like, I was going to say call it OP1, which is another product entirely. But, OPL, is like the left OPZ. And then 5, right? I'll go to, see, it stole that there. 4 is 4L, 5 is 4R. And you can see how this is confusing, right? Like, it's confusing. Having to do this over and over again is super tedious and confusing and annoying. And that's why this template, project template, is good. So it's called this OPR. Okay, so then I'm going to go to projects and save it as well, go back to the track. And then I'll probably need 8 because we're running out here. Because now I have the BAM and the BIM. So let's go back to mixer and let's press B, which you would expect to be an A. 8 tracks. Sometimes I also find, this is a touch screen. Why is this a touch screen? I guess it makes sense. I don't know, but I expect the encoders to work, the rotary encoders, but they don't. And you sit there for like half a minute, like, what, am I, an idiot? Is this frozen? No, it's, you got to touch this one. Oh, okay. I guess it makes sense, but so I also find it confusing for some reason. Press B again to go back. Now I got the 8 tracks is kind of squashed. So you can see that actually the titles have gotten truncated, right? So actually the ones, the OPL, OPR don't work. It's interesting. No, it's just, I guess it just takes the first 2 characters. I thought I was being smarter, but it's not. So let's go to track and then select 6. And this can be our reverb, which is the BAM. So I don't know why I went there. Stay there. B again. Select there. And then we'll say the RVB when it's only going to display 2 characters. So it'll be RV, I guess. Enter. And then 7. I don't know if let's go back to this. Here's a bug too. So notice it says I'm on 7, but then the title below that is still RVB. That's a bug, which is it's not a big deal, I guess, but it's a bug. I find it irritating, but all bugs are irritating. So, right. Anyways, let's go here. I forgot to unmute it, so I'm just going to hit B again, and then unmute it, and then hit B again. Kind of toggle back here, and I actually don't have this connected properly. So the return here from the reverb looks like it's going into 4 as stereo. So, but I want to be kind of sure, because this is where it gets annoying. If I mess it up, it'll steal it from wherever it was. And if I'd split that, if it was say 2 different sources, 2 different inputs, then I messed up that mapping. But I don't think it is. I can trace it. So it looks like to me 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'll say that's 4. Hopefully I'm right. And then I'll just save it again. It's not like there's version control or something and I can go back to a previous version or something. It's just there's one version that's saved. I guess there's the current state and then there's the save state, and that's it. So let's go back to the track. And okay, so hopefully that works. I was going to say I was going to test it, but I don't want to bother testing it. Go to track 7, and then this one here, same thing, B. We'll say this is now this cable, which is on 5, so 5L and R, stereo as well. Yeah, it should be. And then change that name to, it's a delay, I'll put DLY, which will just be DL, I guess. Okay, cool. And then I'll save it. Now, this is looking like, if this does work, this is looking like all I'm going to want to do for this template. Like, I don't want to save more things, because it seems like when you create a project from a template, there's like remnants. Like someone in the forum described it this way. There's like remnants of the previous project or the parent project, right? It's kind of like, imagine like in programming, if you had like a class, like of an object, right? And like there's states in that object or associated with that object, and then you create a copy of that, but you've copied some of that state. It's almost like something like that is going on here. Like, I don't know. I probably didn't explain that very well at all, but something is going on there where it's like some of the state is being copied or linked from the parent or object, project or whatever. And it's anyways, but what I want to do is not have this state. So the way you do this is don't record anything. So I'm going to edit. You can see there's nothing here. Like here's all the files here. I was going to go another tangent. Like I find this whole file navigator thing and management per project to be, I don't know, kind of confusing. Like it does work, but it's kind of, you expect it to work a bit differently. Like I can go and apparently I can go and like, here's another tangent. I can go and like load a file from another project. So if I go add, which seems kind of cool, and then you can see I'm in this like file browser thing, I can go up and it's like, I can go into projects, all right, load, and then each project has like a pool of WAV files, I guess. So if I go into mine, there's nothing there. I'm hoping this doesn't screw up anything. Let's go add again. I'm gonna go, that goes back. Okay, that's what that mystery solved there. So add, go up. Let's go to this one called June 2nd, load it. And then I can select this. Here's all the things here. And if I were to go into the project through here and click edit, you might not see all those things there, is my understanding. But it's kind of confusing. It's almost like a low level thing you can do and like kind of like cleverly go and like steal. I don't even know if it's steal, but you kind of just link WAV files from different projects to the current project. And I suspect the bug is kind of related to this, the way this works. So anyways, whatever. So I'll go back. So I'm not going to put anything there. So I have just no files here, right? And it's better to I saved it, right? It's saved. You can see it's grayed out, so it's saved. So there we go. So, if I want to make a real song, like if I want to record something, let's try this out. I would go File, Save as Template, and come up with some clever name. And just put like, my track, whatever. That's the name of my track. My track, very creative name. And I press enter. And I'm on my track here, and this should have basically copied it, sort of created a new project using that as a template. Like it's kind of, but it should just be, there shouldn't be much there, right, in terms of state. So if I'm now, the one thing I did notice, which is sort of cool, I guess I can hover over this, and if I press project, it should jump to the project I'm on. So I'm on my track. That's kind of the only way I know for sure what project I'm on, because if I go here, if I go here and a project, I guess it's the same thing, right? Same thing. I don't know why this is amazing to me. If I go here, I press mixer and I come back to project, anyways, you press project and it jumps to your project, the current project you're on, which is nice. Another thing is this display, it says, 934, like this has nothing to do with even the project I was on. This is like leftover from, a previous project, which kind of like makes you question how much of the stuff is being, removed or cleared or instantiated or whatever, like is or initialized, right? Is it like, because obviously the display is still like that. So it's like there's just leftover garbage or whatever from previous sessions or projects that's still kicking around that can cause problems. So anyways, like let's go back to, I guess, the mixer, and I'm going to end this very soon because this has gone on way too long. Let's just, if I turn this up, I get tons of noise, which is good because I've mixed in noise, I think, mostly. No? Anyways, this is not, I have to cut off all the way down. Here we go. So you can see like the M3 is working. Is the DFAM working without startling me? That kind of is interesting because I'm triggering, I'm just, not like it sounds amazing, I'm just it's interesting because DFAM was unexpectedly triggering, but it's not that unexpected. I have the trigger output of the DFAM going into the clock input, and then this transport was on play, which I wasn't expecting. So I guess I had this on play or something. So anyways, we got something going on here. We got, a super basic something happening, I don't know. And if I turn this up, we can hear this other tone, which sounds, I don't know what it sounds like to me. It sounds, anyways, if anyone was watching that, great. Thanks. Bye.